Lamine Yamal turns 19 today. It's actually his birthday. Do these comments that he makes before games, we've seen it in La Liga as well, not just in international tournament. Do you think it actually adds pressure on himself?
I don't know if he feels pressure, to be honest. He's so young, despite turning 19. He's been shouldering this type of responsibility for a while now. And once he proved himself in the Euros, where they ended up winning, he was a big catalyst with Nico Williams on the other side. We'll see if Nico Williams is fit enough to start because he just makes it more dynamic. He's such a special player. His belief in himself is immense. I mean, the amount of attention and advertising and everything around him. But he's just like, yeah, I got this. I'm a good player, believes in himself. So I got no problem with it whatsoever. And I don't think it adds any additional pressure.
Pressure is a privilege. And I believe when you look at young players, especially you can see their characters, you can kind of tell if they really believe in what they're saying. He believes in it. The headband that says ego Gamal. You know what I mean? The confidence, the prayer, the consistency, the ego that comes with being one of the best players in the world, and rightfully so, is all demonstrated by Lamine Yamal. And I actually enjoyed it. What Cello said is right. If you are that good, I'm going to tell you how good I am, and I'm going to demonstrate how good I am. And he is waiting. We're still waiting because of the levels we know he can go to in terms of for that breakout competition, that breakout game. But France is the perfect table in order for him to kind of set his own story in this game. And I'm just looking forward to what he does. His greatness is far beyond anything we've seen for a teenager, especially in my lifetime.
He's got 3 goals in his last 2 games against France as well. So he's walking into with some confidence knowing that he can score against them. Yeah,
and also it's quite easy to be confident as a 19-year-old when you look at some of his stats compared to footballing greats. We're going to take a look at his numbers now. 66 more matches than anyone else on this list, 7 trophies. Messi only had 3 on his 19th birthday, only 3.
It's not fair.
I mean, what do we make of these, JD? You're saying it's not fair.
Let me say this right, it's not fair because I'm old enough to watch Ronaldo and Nazario, and nobody has been better than him as a teenager. Nobody. What he was doing on the far right, R9, as a kid, as a teenager, I don't care who is on this graphic. Nobody was rocking the world like he was. He was everything. He was stepovers. He was clinical. He was doing it at levels that we just haven't seen before. And the only thing that eluded him was obviously winning that World Cup back in 98. But trust me, he responded and showed everybody in 2002 why he is arguably the greatest, if not the greatest forward of all time. But you can have all of these people and we can talk about everything we want. He's still got so much to go and he's still got so many pages to write in his book. But nobody can tell me that R9 at that moment as a kid was phenomenal. Did you play against him?
I did.
Oh, flex it again one time for me, JC.
It was an incredible experience and you learn a lot very quickly about what world class looks like. People throw that around, or GOAT, world class, proper. Like I saw it firsthand and the things that he could do and it makes everything look so easy and at full speed is really special.
Listen. Deserves his flowers, deserves his flowers, deserves his flowers, deserves his flowers. You're still planting the seed.
Yeah.
Because he's 18, 19. So, you know what? He belongs here. There's no doubt about it. But he's got so much more to come. But when you talk about history of soccer and you talk about what has been done, these 4 here, and we're not even talking Mbappé, he's still got a ways to go, but his potential is phenomenal. So I can't wait to see over the next 10 years, 20 years of him carrying, because Messi and Ronaldo have carried it for a while. Now it's this young man's time to carry this sport and see what he can do.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see him in that game versus France. And everybody, ahead of this game, time for our storylines to watch. And JD is going to lead us to arguably the best partnership in international football, Connected for the Win, presented by Xfinity. So, JD, how will Spain slow down this duo of Mbappé and Elise? Look, 8 goals and 8 assists between them.
Well, the most clinical number 9 arguably in world football in Kylian Mbappé, and you know, just the man that runs in terms of inside, outside, his shoulder work, his reading of the game in Michael Elise. There is nothing you can do to stop this. I promise you, there is nothing you can do. Their greatness will show greatness in their moments. What you can do though is hopefully as a team, and I say this all the time, you can't hurt me if you haven't got the ball. So it's all about looking after the football for Spain. And what has Spain been historically, let's say over the last 10 to 15 years, arguably the best team in world football in looking after the football. They need to do that. If they're going to stop this dynamic duo, it is not going to be because of any defensive set, any way that you set up, any low block or overloads that you're trying to do defensively. No, these are too good to understand. They've seen every scenario. What you can do though is not give them the ball. If they don't have the ball, they can't hurt you. And that from there is going to be the most effective thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, using that as a segue into what I'm going to talk about. Defense wins championships. I'm going to talk about 2 of these teams defensively because they have been immense. France, for all their attacking prowess, had been unbelievable on the defensive side of the ball, only giving up 2 goals. One of those 2 goals was in the 95th minute against Senegal. So maybe they shut off at that moment. The other one was against Norway in the group stages where they scored, kind of let off their foot again, and then gave up a goal. Outside of that, they've only given up 4 shots on goal in the knockout rounds, 0 goals. Spain has only given up 1 goal this whole tournament, and also have only given up 4 shots on goal in 3 knockout round games. And I really feel like this is probably what's going to dictate what happens in this particular game. You talk about slowing down Mbappé and Olise. That's only going to happen if the Spanish are in good positions in between their lines. They're very disciplined in how and where they're trying to trap the ball. And they've been very good at that so far. This is going to have to be another level, though, because France has so many different weapons. And then conversely, on the other side, France has been very good at the counter press. Right when they lose the ball, can they win it right back? And if they can continue to kind of step on your neck the whole time and play on the front foot, it's going to be really hard for Spain to really put their imprint on the game. But I really do believe that it comes from proper team shape and discipline.
Since we have 2 proper defenders, I had to go to the offensive side of soccer a little bit, because we can both go into championships, winning teams, and all this stuff. We're going more of the offensive push. When you've got players like this, listen, 16 goals for France in this tournament already. That's, let's be honest, that's very hard to defend against. And you have to be for all you want, you can defend as much as you want, but if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you got no chance of winning. France has a good opportunity. They put only 505 passes together, but this team is explosive. 55% of possession, which is okay. Then you look at Spain, on the other hand, 69% of possession they're going to keep. They've only scored 11 goals, but they are so patient with the ball until the ball moves to one side or the other. When they find the weakness, the one-on-one, they'll exploit you. So can Spain do the same in this game? And can France handle not having the ball as much, but we know how quick they are offensively. They can hit you in transition, and you are done.
Lovely stuff. Right, very exciting storylines going into this game. Let's take a look at our projected lineups here. What players we think will get the start. As we mentioned, Spain only conceded 1 goal this World Cup. France have had 3 clean sheets in the knockout games. The big question here, I think, is Pedri or Fabian Ruiz? Who is De La Fuente gonna go for, considering France's attacking prowess?
It's so interesting. You talk about Pedri or Fabian Ruiz. If I'm Mikel Merino, I'm also knocking on the door and asking the question as to, hey, when am I going to get an opportunity to showcase what I can do, and not just as a super sub, but the battle, let's be honest, is going to be one in the midfield. Rabiot, Tchouameni, Olise, Olmo, of course, Pedri, and Rodri. That right there is going to dictate a lot of what you're going to see from the attacking components. Whether Yotharbal or Lamine Yamal are going to get the ball is going to be dictated by how Pedri and Rodri look after it. And that sounds so crazy to say, considering they're 2 of the best midfielders that's probably ever played football. And Rabiot and Tchouameni, what the work they do off the ball, especially what Jimmy was alluding to, the counter press and how quickly we can get that into Mbappé, to Doué, to Dembele's feet, is really going to be the difference maker. But don't be surprised if he's not the best player on the pitch, because I just think he's a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, Olise is a different gravy, and arguably probably the quietest best player in this tournament. I want to get back to this conversation of Pedri versus Fabian Ruiz. For me, Fabian Ruiz was very good against Belgium. Scores the first goal, gets himself a little higher up the field than I think Pedri would do normally. And so I would start Fabian Ruiz. I think that asks different questions of this French team and where they have to defend. It might actually have to have Rabiot sit a little bit more. He might have less impact in combining and helping them out in transition. I know easier said than done. Pedri's going to sit a little bit too. So I'm curious to see what Luis De La Fuente does. Pedri can join the attack, but he's not necessarily going to make those runs in behind that I think that Fabian Ruiz does for both club and country when he plays for PSG as well. Because Rabiot can sit here, Pedri can be a little bit more of the 8, then Olmo can pop up in these pockets. But with Fabian Ruiz, you end up he might even get higher than Olmo, and I just think it asks different questions of this French team. So really the question is De La Fuente, how does he want to start? And does he want to play on the front foot? Where does he want to try to hurt or if they find any vulnerabilities in this French team, do they think that Ruiz can do it, or if Pedri's a better fit? It's going to be really interesting to see. That'll determine whoever you see start. You're going to have a really good idea of what De La Fuente is thinking about where he wants his team to set up.
Yeah, I think when you look at this, I mean, Doué, Porro, that's a key matchup for me down the wing. Dembele, Cucurella is another key matchup to me getting down the wing, because we know Cucurella likes to go forward. Dembele is not going to defend, but he does drop back into space, into the zone where protect. But you know, when you talk about matchups that you dream about, matchups you want to see in this World Cup, I mean, it puts a huge smile on my face. Look at this. I mean, I sit here and I just look at all these names, and for me, to be honest with you, Olise by me is another guy that I put with Bellingham right now in the tournament he's having. He's been fantastic. Once they took him out and put Dembele out wide and put him as that guy that will pull the strings, he has been, I would put Bellingham and Olise as a top 2 in this World Cup.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you spoke about the fullbacks, because I do think the fullbacks going the opposite way. In Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, the play they're going to test Koundé and Luka Digne is going to say a lot in terms of just overall for the direction of this game, man. Just start this now, please.
I just want to give a shout out to the goalkeepers, because if you're going to win any game of consequence, you need your goalkeepers to make a big save. So I'm curious to see which one's going to step up.